We are back at it again here with another video with Invest for Tomorrow. To the first time viewers and investors, welcome to the channel. To all subscribers, welcome back. Here we are with the SPY, the S&P 500 index, continuing to fight to hold support. And in today's volatility, our SPY buy at 12:40 p.m. sent out a bear indicator, and from that moment forward, outflows crossed the midpoint to the downside. Pure weakness there on 42 vision, and put options went up 150% plus within an hour, guys. If you guys want to receive this clarity and edge of the charts, you can now gain access to it as well. The link is down below in the description to the 42 vision indicators, getting connected over to our bots, and becoming part of a growing community of investors, all looking to learn and grow together by receiving this clarity and edge over the charts and using these resources to maximize in either direction, whether stocks are going up or going down. So here we are with the SPY, the S&P 500 index, fighting to hold support. And in today's video, we're going to break down the key levels I would watch going into next week and what's going on with the inflow versus outflow and bull and bear indicators. But before we do, I want to share with you guys the home run opportunity that was mentioned this morning over at the Discord. So the home run today was spectacular and beyond expectations. And if you guys want to know about these stocks early on and receive this clarity and edge over the charts, you can now gain access to it as well. The link is down below in the description to the 42 vision indicators, getting connected over to our bots, and becoming part of a growing community of investors, all looking to learn and grow together. So the home run today was from our Netflix bot. Our Netflix bot at 10:05 a.m. sent out a bull indicator, and from that moment forward, inflows crossed the midpoint to the upside, full strength there on 42 vision, and call options went up 120% plus within an hour, guys. If you guys want to receive this clarity and edge of the charts, you can now gain access to it as well. The link is down below in the description to the 42 vision indicators, getting connected over to our bots. We look forward to having you join us, and we strive for opportunities like these every single day. Let's jump to these charts. Here we are with the SPY, the S&P 500 index, doing a full transition here from the dip area to the rip area in the last 2 days, and hitting bright green bars once again here in today's volatility. And if this is your first time coming across the channel, this is 42 vision, which allows us to see the dips from the rips to the dips, and where the strength and weakness lies within the charts. And we also use our bull and bear indicators and inflow versus outflow as an extra layer of confirmation, which I'm going to pull up here and you can now gain access to as well. The link is down below in the description to the 42 vision indicator, getting connected over to our bots and becoming part of a growing community of investors, all looking to learn and grow together by receiving this clarity and edge over the charts and using these resources to maximize in either direction, whether stocks are going up or going down. And in today's video, I'm going to pull up the inflow versus outflow indicator, which adds that extra layer of confirmation and gives us that edge within the volatility. So here we are with the SPY stock, the S&P 500 index, with a bull indicator popping up yesterday. And we broke this down, how much volatility we've seen in the last several days. But that bull indicator needed to hold true, and to justify it, inflows needed to follow, and no bear indicator needed to pop up. And what happened? It continued to hold into today's pre-market and into the opening bell, and it hit new all-time highs up here of 489, rejecting off of it, not reaching the next resistance we were watching, which is 490, and coming back down to retest the 4650 and 47 area. And here it is in the after hours, pulling downwards but fighting to stay above 487, and no bear indicator has popped up just yet, and a staircase effect is still here within these charts, right? So I'm going to be watching going into next week. Will this bull indicator continue to hold here? Will it find support at around these levels, or will a bear indicator pop up if it continues to pull downwards, right? So that's going to be crucial going into next week. Now, when we zoom out onto the 1 hour, the bull indicator from yesterday at the 46 level continues to hold, and it found support there in the second half of the day, right? It kept coming down towards it, bouncing back up, hitting 488 and rejecting. And here it is in a tight range between the 46.50 area and 488 and fighting to stay above 487 in the after hours. If this bull indicator continues to hold true and it finds support, it could go ahead and justify any move to the upside if inflows follow. And I'm going to be watching for that going into next week here in the bigger picture. Now, in the volatility of the 15-minute, we could see here bull indicator in the pre-market. It was a strong support there in the first half at the 487 area. Hits highs up here of 489, quickly rejects it, and bear indicator pops up at 488, and it was used as resistance here as it tried to recover, and it rejected into the after hours. So in the volatility of the 15-minute, I'm going to be watching if this bear indicator continues to hold true and does it roll over into the 30-minute or 1 hour and continue to retest key support levels. So I'm going to pull up the inflow versus outflows and break down what key levels I would watch going into next week. Here we are with the SPY stock, the SP 500 index, with outflows crossing the midpoint to the downside in the second half when inflows were fighting to stay above. They hit highs up here of 1.54 and it rejected right off the highs of the after hours from yesterday. Quickly came down, crossed it, and it's at negative 0.82, right? And you can see that sharp drop from the recent highs, and here in this tight range fighting between $86 and $87 here into the close and into the after hours. Now, it's going to be crucial and critical for these inflows to come back up to justify any move to the upside. If these outflows continue to the downside, it could start to reflect that weakness into these charts, and I'm going to be watching that closely here going into next week. Now, in the bigger picture, if we go ahead and compare, we could see here why things have not completely collapsed, because these inflows, even though they're flat, you could see it is above the midpoint and positive in green at 1.84. If this continues above the midpoint, it could have weight over the chart and hold it from support levels and try to rebound it if those lower time frames follow and these inflows start to pick up as well, pulling away from the midpoint. And it will be something to not ignore, especially if resistance levels start to get retested. Now, in the volatility of the 15-minute, we could go ahead and see here within the volatility of the SPY stock how these inflows were dominating. Again, in the first half, it crossed to the downside, but even though there's a pullback here, there's a divergence of inflows coming up and back above the midpoint in the after hours. So it's going to be crucial and critical for this to turn into a staircase effect and follow these inflows if they pull up away from the midpoint. And if they do, I'm going to be watching if it rolls over into the 30-minute and 1 hour as well. Now, what are the key levels I would watch? Well, the first thing is support, guys. And if these outflows come back down here on the 15-minute within the volatility, the first support level I'll be watching is 86.50. If that gets broken through on the 30-minute and those outflows continue lower, well, then the next level I'll be watching is 485. And then below that is 483. Now, to the upside, it's going to be crucial and critical for these inflows to pull away from the midpoint, continue reflecting that strength into these charts and retesting key resistance levels and pulling up the 30-minute with it, changing from red to green, crossing the midpoint, and the first resistance is 488. Then above that is 489. I'll watch that tight range. And then the next level is 490, and then comes 492. So those are the key levels I'll be watching to the upside and to the downside. The bull and bear indicators are going to be crucial, and the inflow versus outflows, I would not ignore them. They're going to be crucial to watch very closely as outflows are dominating on the 30-minute, not just yet on the 1 hour, and on the 15-minute, inflows are trying to pick back up. So there's some hidden divergences here to not ignore. As always, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Now let's make some money.